Hey, James here. Now, today's video, we're going to be looking at live streaming, specifically using the Rodecaster Pro. We all know the Rodecaster Pro is an awesome bit of kit if you want to record podcasts, but how does it work in radio and how can you use the Rodecaster Pro as a digital broadcast console? All of that is coming up in today's video, so stay right there. So if you're new to this channel, my name's James Mulvaney. I'm founder of radio.co and podcast.co, and I help thousands of broadcasters get their ideas off the ground. Please remember to hit that subscribe button, ping and turn on your notification bell if you want to receive updates when I'm posting new videos like this. So today we're going to be using the Rodecaster Pro, which I have in front of me here, and we're going to be using it to broadcast live to radio.co via a tool called But, which is broadcast using this tool, which we've got installed here on our MacBook. The process really is exactly the same whether you're using a Mac or Windows, but if you'd like me to create a Windows version of this tutorial, let me know in the comments below. And we're also going to be using Virtual DJ as our software to play some music, really for demonstrations purposes. I'm going to have Virtual DJ on one of the faders here so I can turn my music up and down. I'm going to have my microphone connected to another fader, and I'm going to show you a couple of the little hacks and the little tricks that have been introduced in the most recent firmware update of the Rodecaster, which makes it a lot more friendly for radio broadcast purposes. A word on that quickly. If you haven't already updated the firmware on your Rodecaster, you may need to update it before some of these options actually become available. So let's dive in and I'll show you how to connect everything together and we can get our live stream up and running. Okay, so let's start off by just running through the various different elements I have here. Obviously at the center of our setup is the Rodecaster Pro. I will talk you through how to configure this for radio friendly mode in a minute. We've got our laptop here. This little piece of software is called But, which is broadcast using this tool. This works on either MacBook or it'll work on Windows as well. It's just a really simple tool to take the stream, re-encode it and send it off to radio.co. In the background here we have some DJ software running. This is Virtual DJ, but you could be using any DJ software or playout software that you want, or you could even just be using something like Spotify or iTunes. It really doesn't matter. Basically a tool to play our music on our computer. How we're going to set this up is we're going to set it up so we have our microphone connected to fader number 1, and on this fader here, USB, that's where we're going to have our music. We're also going to set it up so if we have fader 1 up, which is our microphone, the speaker disconnects. So basically this is one of the new features, and this is really important in any radio studio. You do not want your monitors, your speakers live when your microphones are up, because obviously otherwise you're going to get feedback. It's going to cause a lot of pain for everyone in the studio, but also for the listeners as well. So you want to make sure as soon as you turn that fader up, your speaker automatically switches off. And that's one of the new features of this unit. Finally, we're going to have headphones as well, which we're going to connect. So I want to show you now how to plug this all together. Then we'll get some music going and I'll show you how we can actually broadcast live from this console to radio.co. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to connect the XLR from my microphone here into the first microphone slot on the Rodecaster Pro. I'm then going to connect my monitor to one of these ports. There's obviously left and right. Obviously we're only using one speaker today. Normally you'd have two. So we connected our speaker to our Rodecaster. Finally, my headphones, I'm going to connect them to headphone out number 1. Again, you have multiple headphone jacks. You can connect up to 4 pairs of headphones. Great if you have a studio with more than one microphone set up. You'll see also we've connected our Rodecaster up via USB to our MacBook, so we're ready to go. Okay, so first of all, we're going to go into settings. We're going to go to advanced. We're going to go to audio, and finally operations. Now, these are some of the various new things that they've introduced. So first of all, we're going to select automatically mute outputs. That simply means if one of our microphone faders is up, our speaker is going to cut off automatically. So we're going to avoid any feedback. Next up, we're going to enable pre-fade listen. Now, pre-fade listen simply means that you can listen to what is going on your computer before you bring the fader up. That's really important a lot of times if you want to preview tracks perhaps that you're going to play before I actually go live, and I'll show you how to use that in a second. Finally, we're going to enable broadcast meters. This will just change the levels of the meters so we're broadcast friendly. So now I've got my DJ software. If I press play, you'll hear the one main issue we've got here is the audio is coming out of my MacBook speakers. What we want to do is we want to configure this software so instead of coming out of my MacBook Pro, it's going into the Rodecaster and I'll be able to listen to it on this fader here. To do that, on Virtual DJ, I click Virtual DJ and head to Preferences. Now, it doesn't matter what DJ software you're using, every single DJ software will give you the ability to map the output. And instead of mapping it to my MacBook Air speakers, I'm going to map it to the Rodecaster Pro. It's really simple. I click Apply and I'll close the preferences. Now, if I hit play again, you'll hear there's silence. But if I turn that fader up, we now have our music going out onto the Rodecaster Pro. That's step one of the process. As I mentioned, it's about mapping your audio software to the Rodecaster Pro so you can control it on that fader. Now, next up, I wanted to show you how the microphone interacts with the monitor. So if I have my music up and I want to speak over the top of the music, as soon as I turn my microphone fader up, you'll notice the speaker goes off. Do you hear that? Because obviously we don't want feedback happening in the studio. It turns my speaker off, which is perfect. But I can still hear that music from their headphones, which is really, really important. Another quick tip, as you can see, we've now got our music playing on our DJ software. You remembered on the settings, I enabled something called pre-fade listen. Now this simply means you can listen to something before you press that fader up. So if I've got my headphones on and I press this green button here, you'll probably be able to hear that through my lapel mic here. But that basically will allow me to preview whatever's coming out that fader before I press the fader up, which is commonly used in radio. It's a really handy feature to have. So the next up is taking our output from the Rodecaster Pro and actually sending it to radio.co for your live stream so everyone else can hear it. Now let's dive in and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so the final stage is really to connect our Rodecaster Pro via a encoding tool such as Broadcast using this tool or any other tool that you want to use. As you can see here, we have a radio.co account. We've got a show which is currently active. I've got 50 minutes left of my broadcast. So what I'm going to quickly do is run through how to connect. You know this stuff, you've probably done it before, but if you haven't, I'll quickly go through this now. So I'm going to go to But, I'm going to hit on Settings, and I'll go under Main, choose Add New Server. We'll call this radio.co. I'll then just copy my account details here. So the address, the port number, and then finally the password. Now these details are unique to you, so make sure you're using the right ones. We'll click Add. We'll then add a stream URL and a stream information, and we'll just call this James's live show, whatever, pop music. Let's click Add again. Okay, so now this is ready to connect. Now you'll see currently I have my default sound card, which I'm speaking to you on my microphone right now. And this is why I've got these levels showing up here. So what I actually need to do is go on to audio, and you'll see currently my default audio device is selected. That's no good. So what we're going to do is click on that menu and change it to Rodecaster Pro. This, by the way, will work with any audio interface you're using. It doesn't have to be the Rodecaster Pro. But basically what this will allow me to do is anything that goes out of the Rodecaster will go onto the internet and connect to my stream. So once that's selected, I can close that settings window. We can hit the connect button and off we go. We are now live and we're connected and streaming to radio.co using the Rodecaster Pro. And just before you go, I wanted to show you one last thing as well, which is fantastic. This is the button bank here on the Rodecaster Pro. Now, by default, there's these kind of cheesy sound effects, you know, like when you press laughter and it laughs and intro and outro and things. But actually, if you click on these squares here, but if you choose this selection here, which is send a sound from your computer to the Rodecaster Pro, you can actually load it up with your own assets. So it will actually copy over this file, which in this case is a jingle, and it will copy it to the Rodecaster Pro, which is really cool because you know, you can actually load this full of jingles and sound effects for your show, perhaps background beds, that kind of thing. Really, really versatile bit of kit. And all of these will operate on the last fader. So I thought I'd just point that out to conclude this tutorial. Okay, so there we have it. That is how you connect your Rodecaster Pro up to radio.co for doing a live show. You can control all of your outputs, including your microphones, your music, and you can even connect a secondary source. So perhaps you've got another laptop that you want to connect with this. There's actually a jack input on the back, which we can allow you to connect your phone or perhaps another computer, which you can either have two computers play different types of music, or maybe you want to connect up some DJ gear, whatever you want, you can connect it to here and it will give you full control over your shows or your program's output. So thanks very much for watching this video. Have you got a Rodecaster Pro? Are you interested in broadcasting live with the Rodecaster Pro? Hopefully that's cleared up some of your questions, but if you have any more questions, please don't hesitate to put them in the box below. We love getting your questions. And remember to go and check out radio.co for all of your broadcasting needs. All right, take it easy. What makes the difference between a successful radio station and a failed project? Well, after working with tens of thousands of broadcasters over the past 15 years and helping lots of people start their own radio stations, I see the same mistakes being made time and time again. So what I've done is I've put together a guide called the 5-Step Radio Startup Checklist, which really covers everything from concepting your radio station to marketing it. And this guide, I believe, will make the difference between you having a successful venture with longevity and creating something that doesn't quite hit the mark. Go and grab your copy now for free at jamesm.com/radio. Just enter your name and your email address and I'll send it over to you straight away. You're going to find it really useful. There's tons of information there which will help you with concepting and launching your brand and bringing it to market.